Since I have nothing to say about this chapter, while I'm recording my post-commentary, I'm not going to watch the footage. I'm going to try to post-commentate the video without watching it, because I know exactly what happens. So, I'm doing a blind post-commentary. I don't know how this works, but let's try it. Okay, so we enter the Boggly Woods, and it looks pretty cool. It's got like a black and white sort of stark look to it with like a fluorescent, gnarly sort of psychedelic black light floor, which is cool. So it doesn't look that boring, but it is. Because if you go over here, you have the shadow sirens, and they're talking about something. Basically, they want to kill us, and they've come here to Boggly Woods to cut us off with an ambush so that they can kill us and have turtle mushroom soup with our party members. And that's understandable, because I've had that thought cross my mind several times as well. But while they're going over the plan, the old one, who has a punishment fetish, finds something in the hands of the young pink-haired one on the left, whose name is Vivian. She has a necklace that she found and picked up and is going to keep because she's a greedy little thief. So the old one disapproves of the necklace that Vivian has and asks Vivian for the map, and Vivian's like, I didn't have the map, you had the map, and the old one's like, no, I'm going to punish you for that. You're gonna get a good, long, hard punishment tonight. And I'm playing this, I'm like, this is so unsettling. So she takes the necklace, but they don't know what we look like except the yellow-haired one, so we're able to just walk right by and leave them to their drama. And, okay, I believe what happens next is I get attacked by an enemy, and I think it's a piranha plant. The piranha plants really suck because they pop right in front of you. It's so shitty. And the piranha plants almost always come paired with the spiky rock heads, I guess they're called. I don't really remember. But these guys will charge you, and they're hard to dodge. And they're hard to kill, too, because they have so much defense, you know? You have to have, like, a POW block, or, like, you have to use a ton of FP to kill them, so the enemies in this level really suck. If you go to the next part of the level, I believe you see a pipe. Yeah, okay, so there's a pipe. And if you go down the pipe, you can go into the background and go over to the big mother avatar fern gully tree of life and environmentalism. So you go into the tree, and Punio runs over and notices that there's a big red door blocking it because of the X-Nauts. So, yeah, we can't get in because the X-Nauts are inside and they're eating other Punies and they're playing racquetball with Punies, presumably. I don't know what they do. But, so we can't go in. So Punio runs up the side of the tree to look for a secret entrance, but there's not one. I mean, there is one, but it's not visible. So we need the help of someone who can help us into the tree via the invisible secret entrance. So we have to go find our next party member, who is a woman named Madame Flurry, henceforth known as McFlurry, because I think that's funny, even though no one else in the world does, but I don't even care. So, we go to find McFlurry. When we leave the tree screen, we're presented with a short sort of cutscene, and that cutscene is basically monologue boxes of McFlurry talking to herself in her expensive mansion that she has in the woods, which I understand. I do that myself, only I have a tiny little apartment, but still, all my neighbors can hear me. But still, I've only had the cops called twice, but still. So she's talking about how devastatingly glamorous she is, which is something I can also relate to, and she discovers with horror that she's missing something very important. And then we cut back to Mario, and we go back into the foreground, and we dodge some more enemies, I believe. And then, I think, we come across our puzzle. It's like, okay, there's a pipe you go into, and then you jump onto a plane platform, and then you fly to the right to hit the ground and realize that you have no idea what to do. So you can see a button in the background, and you get the idea that it's like, okay, I can hit the button, and there's like a floor in the back that you can see, and you're like, okay, yeah, okay, I get the idea that I'm supposed to be on the floor, but you don't know how to get back there. And there's all these fucking enemies distracting you, and they take forever to kill each. So I ran around this level for like 5 minutes, not knowing what to do. And I've played this level several times too, and I still forget. But you have to go in here and this like see-through wall in the front of the level. And then you can get back here behind the trees and hit the button. So if you push this level's buttons, its pipe grows. Basically, that's the message of this level. And then you can get the star piece back here, and then you can run. I'm so embarrassed about. I'm so ashamed of how much I remember without even watching the footage. Like this is not a problem for me at all. So you go up the pipe, and then you can get on the plane platform, and then you can fly over to the other side. And I even remember the badge you get here. The badge you get here is the Quake Hammer. And the Quake Hammer is great because it allows you to hit all ground-bound enemies at once, which is pretty helpful in this chapter because you have those shitty spiky head Goombas and all the... Yeah. So, I believe after that is Madame Flurry's house. I'm not positive. But if you go to the next screen, I think there's like a fence with like a hole in it. So you can shift into paper mode, go through the fence, and then there's a pipe, right? And then you go into the pipe, and then you go into the background, and then you go to Madame Flurry's house. And when you get to Madame Flurry's house, Punio calls out to her, and she doesn't answer, and then I think Koops calls out to her, and she doesn't answer. But when you go and, like, knock on the door, she's like, "Eek, don't come in! I'm just naked without my beautiful necklace." So it's her necklace that she's missing, and that's the same necklace from before, right? With the Shadow Sirens, which means we have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Backtracking is a really irritating game mechanic in Chapter 2. So, we get the idea that McFlurry needs her necklace to go outside because she's just unpresentable without it. Which, what a bitch, you know? This is like part of the reason why nobody likes Flurry, is that her only friends are the Punies. Like, she moved to the forest to be with the Punies because she's just such a bleeding heart for these little adorable creatures who live in the trees. And she, like, their home is being destroyed by an evil corporation of evil henchmen and evilness. And, like, they're being eaten, and they're being used as tennis balls, presumably. And she's, like, totally able to help them. She's, like, super powerful. She's a wind spirit. And she won't go outside because she doesn't have her shitty necklace. Like, what a materialistic bitch. Why would you do that to your friends? Come on. Like, move your ass. So, we make our way back to the Shadow Sirens, and they find the sketch of us. Turns out the old one with the punishment fetish had the sketch the whole time, like Vivian said, and she's like, "Oh, well, shit." So now that they see what we look like, they're like, "Whoa, he passed here earlier." So then we show up, and then we're like, "We need the necklace," and then they're like, "Well, we need to kill you for the Crystal Star." So we initiate a battle. So we defeat Vivian first, for some reason. I don't know why. I just felt like being kind of a bully again. And then we defeat the fat one. That one goes down pretty easily. And then we defeat old punishment one. So we kick their asses, and then they flee, and then we get the necklace. So great. And then we can go all the way back to the other end of Boggly Woods. And then we get to Flurry's house again. And then we present the necklace. And not only is she, like, content with wasting our time for us to go find a necklace that we may or may not have ever found, she also has to make a big entrance. Like, she has to put on a production for the entrance. So she brings down the sexy disco ball, and she enters, and then this is Flurry. And she is truly magnificent, as you can see. And she just cannot get over our masculinity again, like, which is a running theme. So she has to kiss us, and so she does, and it's super hot. But other than that, So now Flurry can join our party, and she's my least favorite party member. Yay! Because she's not super useful, honestly. But this is what she can do. She can blow. And that's not supposed to be funny. That's like what she does. She blows. She blows air. And when you blow air with Flurry, this weird animation happens. And I'll take a closer look at this. Whenever you press X, this animation happens. Like, what's going on in this animation? What is Mario doing? Okay, so it took me forever to hypothesize what Mario was holding of Flurry's. Was he holding Flurry's hand? No. Was he holding her breasts? That's what I thought for the longest time. That's what I saw. And then it makes sense. Then I figured it out, and it's the grossest thing. Like, it's something that I didn't ever see before. Mario is blowing into Flurry's backside, and then air is coming out of Flurry's mouth. That's what's happening. Look, Mario has like Flurry's tail, I guess, in his mouth, and he's blowing air through her, and then it's amplified within her, and then she blows it out of her mouth. Like, seriously, what else could be happening in this animation? If you want to post suggestions as to what you guys see, maybe I'm just a complete and total perv, and this is what I see, if that's even something that could be considered perverted. I just think it's weird. But, yeah, what do you guys see in this animation? Am I wrong? Like, I have no idea. So, now that Flurry has joined our party, we can begin. Okay, what happens next? What happens next? Okay, so then we go back into the tree. And then we go back up the route, and we can use the Mario and Flurry's super powerful combination of blowing to blow away the secret panel. So Punio is able to enter the secret entrance, and then he goes around and unlocks the door for us, because he's a hacker also, I assume. So then we're able to enter the tree. Inside the tree, there's no one there, where there should be Punies, except for there's 2 X-Nauts there. And the X-Nauts are like, whoa, we gotta tell Grotus about Mario being here. And the other one's like, fuck that shit, let's just take him down and get all the credit. But they're basically like Team Rocket grunts of the X-Naut world, because they're super easy to beat, and there's tons of them, and they're all the same. So we defeat them with basically no problem, and they run away crying. And then from behind the trees come the other Punies in swarms, and they're all terrified that we're going to eat them, except for one of them who likes our mustache. He's my favorite. And then there's this fucking guy. This fat one comes out. He's like the Cartman of the group. He's just like the shittiest one. Everyone hates him, but like no one ever says anything because he's fat, and he'll like get all angry and stuff. But he's like such an awful little character. And he doesn't trust us at all, which is probably accurate, because if I was going to eat any Puny, I'd eat him first, because A, he's shitty, and B, he's like huge and like delicious looking. And then we realized that Punio has a little sister, so his motivation just went from, I guess I have to save the tree, to, hey, I actually have a sister that I have to save. So, with knowledge that his sister has been kidnapped, and along with hundreds of other Punies, which we will become ever so familiar with in the next episode, it's our job to go into the tree and save the Punies. So then we head to the right to enter the tree, and there's another door with a red light we can't go into. And there's a pipe in the back, and that's the pipe we have to go into. But this was the point that I decided to stop recording and check my audio, and it was also the point where I realized my audio was totally worthless. So, thus ends my post-commentary. So with my post-commentary now forever over, we can get into live commentary for Chapter 2 in the next part. And I've learned my lesson. I've learned to always back up your save files and always test the hell out of your microphone, so it's not going to happen again, I promise. So, I'll see you guys then. Oh, wait, stop, wait, I forgot.
By the way, if you don't make a talking boob joke in Chapter 2, I will unsubscribe. For realsies.
Okay, what did one talking boob say to the other talking boob? it said that I can't. Damn it.
You suck!